People deluded. I hope you're all well and safe and them things. Arsenal have obviously just beaten Fulham 4 goals to 1, 3 points. Great way to kick off 2019. With that being said, we might as well provide our player ratings. I always say that. I mean, I might as well provide my player ratings. Now, it's a different game, people. I do think there's no need for me to be a bit OTT because we won. But at the same time, we won 4-1. This game could have been 5-1 Fulham. It could have been 5-1 Arsenal. It could have been 7-5. It could have been 7-7. Both sides showed why we're not in the Champions League spots and they find themselves fighting for relegation, because it doesn't matter what you're trying to achieve. Defence makes the difference. Your attackers score goals and obviously win games and get to glory, but defenders are what you need, and defenders are rare. Good defenders, no disrespect, are a rare commodity between the two sides. So yeah, defensively we were quite poor today. I think, man, I don't think it's a game to go OTT, but I feel we were quite poor. So Leno, I'm going to give Leno a 5, man. I feel Leno made some good saves, or if not good saves, got to the ball when it looked like a couple frightening moments. I feel by the same token, his ball playing was decent today. But by the same token of that, I feel his ball playing was annoying me. It's not just him. There was a lot of aimless long balls. That, again, that lies with Unai Emery, because if the system is being set up in a certain way that the players cannot find an out ball, and again, the players need to be better. But several times I've said this to you, I'm seeing our midfielders, defenders, keeper receive the ball and there's not too many options in front. Again, that's down to the personnel, but there has to be something with what Unai Emery is telling them to do. That being said, his kicking wasn't helping us at times. I feel like times he was taking too long as well. I just feel that it's mainly his decision making, but he gets a 5. He didn't have too much to do. The goal isn't his fault. He gets a 5. Mustafi gets a 5 for me. Obviously, on another day, all our centre halves get a 4, people, because I feel we were quite shocking. But yeah, man, the 5 is a respectable thing. Ultimately, by the time when he was on the pitch, we had a clean sheet. I feel his ball playing was quite atrocious, but other than that, yeah, man, it was too easy to get cut open. But 5 is respectable. Socrates crawled his way back to a 5. I felt he looked a bit nervous and a bit low on confidence today. I know he's not the most expansive ball player, but a couple of passes you typically see him try. He kind of shied away from it. Obviously, he did alright to have that effort in the first half. I didn't even realise it was Socrates dribbling past someone and making a yard for himself. But 5 is a respectable result. But on another day, we'll really have to look at these defenders' performances, because they're not tracking runners, they're not following men, they're not identifying men that need to be marked. Holding shape is an issue. Transitioning from either side of the pitch and not leaving space seems to be an issue. Just clearing your lines, basic clearing your lines as well. Like basic, there was one, I can't remember if it was the first or second half. Maitland-Niles is in a fullback. There was many times people were getting a run on him and he wasn't following them. But there's times he's deep behind them. He's deep behind the two centre halves. I mean, yeah, the two centre halves when we're trying to clear our lines. Now, when you play Sunday League, I was a right back. So what? That's a left back. That's a right back. You've got the two centre halves. Now, you all need to be able to look at the line and realise we need to push up for obvious reasons. If only one player pushes up, then they're playing people on side and they've got one less man. If everyone pushes up and there's one person and they're level, obviously people that understand football know what I'm getting at. But I was a fullback. I was taught, no, I was taught basically look out for your centre halves. They're the ones that take charge and tell you to get out and push up as a team and get out and things. You got Socrates, Greek international, played many games for Dortmund and his homeland. Koscielny, Euro finalist and France international, been at Arsenal for how long? Mustafi's a World Cup winner and again, very experienced. Regardless of what you think of these players' ability, when I'm seeing certain things, I can't understand it. Like, to see that, so they're not pushing out. They left Maitland-Niles, and I think Maitland-Niles got into a tangle with Mitrovic or something on his challenge by both players. But just stuff like that fills me with not really confidence, really and truly. But yeah, so the 3 defenders all get a 5 respectively. With Leno, I'm gonna give Kola a 7. Kola would be en route for probably a 5, maybe a 6. But I feel he was involved for the 2 goals. I feel again he was very good in an offensive sense today, in my opinion, quite good. Possibly should get an 8 really and truly, but I'm gonna give him a 7 because I feel defensively. Obviously, we won 4-1 and Fulham weren't efficient in front of goal, so it won't be spoken about. But I feel Sessegnon was able to exploit his side a bit too much. I think the goal, forgive me if I'm wrong, it came from his side. Kamara's goal for Fulham. I'm going to watch the game again, so forgive me. There was definitely incidents where Kamara bombed down that flank and he put a ball in and it just wasn't quite good enough to find his strike teammate Mitrovic. But a 7's a respectable result, and games like this show how good and bad Kola is, because Kola is one, I keep saying this, going forward, I've got all the confidence in the world in him. He's a tank, man. You see him involved in the goals. You see the tanking runs. He's an honest player. He's very good going forward. The problem is defensively, he's the complete opposite. He's woeful defensively. He's got a defensive bone in his body. And no matter how much, I was a fullback, so no matter how much you try and tell yourself and kid yourself, the modern day fullback has to be another winger and this and that, and that's all true. You still have to be able to defend. Keepers got to be able to ball play now. They still have to be able to catch and throw a ball. Centre halves, well, to be fair, some centre halves at some teams can't defend, but they're rated on ball playing. But they eventually get found out, people. So yeah, Maitland-Niles probably on route to give a 6, but I give him, because I look at the more experienced players within that back 4 or 5. If you depend on how you was looking at how he was playing, well, 3 or 5. He weren't really out of play. Now, there were incidences where he showed he's still learning to play in that fullback position, or is not a natural fullback, because people were making runs off him. Like I just said, for even though the centre-half should have been telling him to clear his lines, he should be able to look and see that I'm the only one behind my teammates and I should be getting out. But I feel offensively, he did very well. Man, he looks assured of himself. He did very well. And yeah, it's another game where it's a decent performance from the lad. Now, as a young player, you want to be playing in your positions. He wants to clearly play in a further forward position. But the fact is, you just got to be able to take your chance when it comes. And he's doing that. So a 7 for me. Who else? I give Xhaka a 5. I feel that 5 is a respectable result for him because, yeah, he scored and I felt he done alright and better in the second half. But I just feel Xhaka was quite woeful, man. There were several times he was mistiming headers. Mistiming tackles, just giving the ball away in midfield, just vacating positions. One thing I say about Xhaka, games like this where you have all the time in the world, because Fulham want to sit, I want to see good passes and exploit your passing range. I saw it in patches, but it wasn't quite good enough, and I don't feel our central midfield players did enough today, man. And I was fully behind Unai Emery when he brought on Torreira at half time. I know those of you that follow me on Twitter saw me say we need to bring on Torreira because the way the game was going, obviously 1-4-1, but at the point it's only 1-0. You're thinking it could be a game where they probably get another one and we drop points, or they could possibly get more. But 5 is a respectable result. Obviously he scored as well, so there's that. Pardon me, people. Guendouzi gets a 5. I feel he had sometimes this game a so-so game, and it's a game where you could see several positives, but you could also see several negatives. Now he's still a young man and trying to level up in the game and find consistency and stuff, and he's doing quite well considering the experience he has. But that's just what I feel. I feel he did alright. There was one goal, I think it was for the 3rd, where him and Kola were very alert down the left hand side. But 5 is a respectable result. I feel Torreira when he came on did enough to get a 6. Ramsey when he came on, I'll give him a 7 purely for giving us breathing space and nothing more. I feel Iwobi gets a 7 today, in my opinion. Iwobi had a good game. I was going to give him a 6 because I felt he dropped off a bit in the second half, but I'm going to give Iwobi a 7. Similar to the Liverpool game, obviously different circumstances. We were the ones on the result of a hefty scoreline, but I feel he's still up to be counted, and he had a good start to the season. He obviously bagged in, was it the Chelsea game? Forgive me if I'm wrong. He bagged against someone. He obviously had a good run in the team where he was one of the first team sheets on, one of the first names on the team sheet. And then he kind of before the last couple of games, he kind of was starting games and he weren't quite doing the business, and he was kind of dipping in form, and he seems to be uptaking now. We just need to see some goals. Obviously he bagged an assist as well, and he was involved today, man, and he put in a good performance. So yeah, man, he deserves a 7. So yeah, sorry, we're going ahead of ourselves. I'm going to give Lacazette an 8. He obviously scored. I feel he worked very hard today. I feel he made a lot of good passes. There were some times where he was probably enjoying the game a bit too much and giving the ball away for me in sloppy positions, but you got to love Lacazette. So Lacazette can get an 8 for me. Do you know what? I can't really, do you know what? Iwobi gets an 8. Yeah, Iwobi gets an 8 as well, man. I can't really give Laka an 8 and not really give Iwobi an 8. So I'll give Iwobi an 8. Kola, you could probably get an 8, but I'm going to leave you at 7. So Iwobi gets an 8. Laka's an 8. Aubameyang for me gets a 7. I feel he worked very hard today, man. I don't think it was a game like against Liverpool where, although he worked very hard, you wanted a bit more. I feel he worked hard today. He got in goal scoring positions, which, don't get me wrong, he should have converted some of them chances. He really should have had a hat-trick today, but you thought it wasn't going to be his day today. It was going to be one of them where everybody else can score with like a bit of luck, but it's not going to happen for you when you see him hitting the post and Ramsey taps it in and you're seeing other opportunities. But he worked hard. He scored his goal. He made some good runs. I think he linked up very well with Lacazette, and they both look like they're both good players by themselves, but they both look like 10 times the players when they're linking up with each other. Other players are feeding off the energy and the runs them and they are making. So he gets a 7. I don't feel I'm missing anyone else out. And if I am, obviously shout-outs to young Saka as well, who's been on the bench, made his Europa League debut, and he finally made his Premier League one. I know you've seen Emil make his one, you've seen Saka. If it's up to me, or if it was up to me, or if I can hope, it would be young Xavier Amici that would be involved in first team in similar circumstances, and he probably would have been if it wasn't for the horrible injury he took that kind of ended his a couple months towards the end of 2018. But yeah, that's my player ratings, people. So let's recap. I know I changed it a bit. We went with Leno with a 5, Mustafi a 5, Socrates a 5, Koscielny a 5, Kola gets a 7, Maitland-Niles gets a 7, Xhaka gets a 5, as does his midfield partner in Guendouzi. Iwobi gets an 8, so does Lacazette. Aubameyang gets a 7. Torreira did enough for a 6, although I would blame Koscielny for the goal that happened, because I don't feel it was like the Liverpool mistake where he was dilly-dallying in possession and Firmino or whoever took it off him. I felt he was kind of stitched up with the pass from Koscielny, and you did see a couple of times Koscielny, and not just him, a couple of people playing them passes, and you could see it developing. So he gets a 6. Ramsey, super sub sort of thing, so I'll give him a 7 off the bench scored, and I felt he did alright, to be honest with you. Probably being a bit generous to Ramsey, but it is what it is, man. Have fun at Juventus, bro. But yeah, what can I say in regards to Arsenal versus Fulham? Arsenal 4, Fulham 1. Yeah, that's my player ratings. There's not much more to say, man. So, like, yeah, it's time to catch Spurs versus Cardiff. Hopefully Cardiff can do us a favour. But for now, people, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and you enjoyed the start to the new year. And I hope it's a year to remember, both for Arsenal and for the right reasons, and for you guys in your personal life or whatever you're working to, trying to attain or trying to overcome. I hope it happens for you, people. And yeah, man, like I said, whatever club you support as well, good luck to you. Not if you support Spurs. But on that note, anyways, people, DG, Arsenal v Fulham, player ratings, I'm out.